All right, so here we are. We're going to be playing Stardew Valley, but we're going to be playing Stardew Valley in a way that is different from what we usually play. And I want to give an explanation for that. Also, an explanation for some of you who have been wondering where I've been and why I haven't been streaming at all. There's a two-part explanation to that. One, I am a college professor, as y'all may know, and the semester happened, and it cut me out for a while. But my intention was to start up back again over the summer like I typically do. But what happened this summer was that at the beginning of summer, I had an instance of passing out, is the best way we can put it. We don't know what it was. We don't know why it's happening. We're working on it. Thought it was going to be just a one-time thing, and it has happened again. And so I've been spending much of my summer trying to figure out both why I regularly pass out, but also why I have been exhausted afterwards. So I have not had a lot of energy. I can't get through the day. Most of the days I haven't been able to work. And that's been my summer, is not being able to work, not being able to focus or concentrate for much of the day. And so what ended up happening was, for a while I was just laying and watching things, like literally laying around and watching things on YouTube. I discovered a YouTuber named Salmons, who I will link in the description. And they do a large number of how-to videos and other the like videos for Stardew Valley, which is kind of my go-to need to relax game to play. As you can probably tell, we play it. We play it quite a bit. Yep, and somebody is in as me as JediPsychTricks. Yeah, it's been scary. I suspect that's my husband piping in that. Yeah, it hasn't been great. But I've been using these to try to help cope. Oh, it's Cat's Meow. Hey, Cat's Meow. It has been scary. You're absolutely right. Cat's Meow is my daughter. So if you see things from me, that's my daughter. Say hi to Cat's Meow. Um, and so when I'm watching this YouTuber, and I want to give my hats off to Salmons. This has been YouTube therapy and Stardew therapy for me. I discovered these two other YouTubers that you see on the screen, Wickedy and Argon Matrix. In fact, I have a Stardew therapy uh, t-shirt that I got from Wickedy's merch website. It's been Stardew Valley therapy. And I first started off just playing in a vanilla, normal Stardew Valley world, but what they helped me discover is a world of Stardew Valley challenges, things that you can do and layer on top of this very generally, on the surface, simple game. And the two challenges that they have introduced and that they are currently playing through, I decided for this series and for my return to streaming, I was going to see if I could combine them. So I want to give a quick explanation for each of them so that we can then talk about how we would combine them. So the first, the challenge being done by Wickedy, combines Dungeons and Dragons with Stardew Valley in a way that makes Stardew Valley a lot more painful, but also a lot more fun. And so it gives an ability to you roll dice. And actually, I'm going to pull up for us. I am going to pop up on the screen so that y'all can see that it's a dice roller. So this dice roller, and this is, again, will be linked in the description below so that you can take a look. The basics of this game are that you use the day-to-day Stardew Valley already provided on the TV to decide how many dice you're going to roll. You're rolling with advantage or disadvantage, and those rolls determine how many actions you can take on a day. So if you roll a 2, you can do 2 things that day, 2 categories of actions that day. But here's the thing, that's randomized as well. You take that 2, you roll d20s, and those d20s decide what types of things you get to do in Stardew Valley. So you have randomization in how much you can do, randomization in what you can do. Now, there are a plethora of other rules as well, including free actions, things that you can do regardless, things that you are able to do regardless. But we're going to go into this in much more detail as we go. It is one of those things that is much better explained in action rather than trying to explain it from the get-go. So what you need to know is I'm going to link those rules down in the description below. I am going to be playing Stardew Valley in a randomized Dungeons and Dragons type fashion where the dice and the the spirits determine how many actions I can do and what types of actions I can do. Red Fighter, let me know if I didn't get, try to adjust the volume to fix that. There we go. Argon Matrix, on the other hand, has a plethora of different challenges that you can find on his YouTube channel, and the same that Wickedy does. Has a number of challenges where he's just designed it to make Stardew Valley difficult for himself and painful for himself. And the one that he's currently playing through, and in fact, you'll see, if you can sort of see in the images of their YouTube pages that I have up there, it turned out I was able to catch them when they were both live. And so you can see that they were live on their different challenges. And what Argon Matrix is currently doing as a challenge is a Perfection Randomizer. And the way that the Perfection Randomizer works is that not only is that instead of one given action being randomized, in this case, a particular goal on the way to reaching perfection is the only goal that you can move towards. So it turns out that Stardew Valley, during the 1.5 update, the most recent update of Stardew Valley, they introduced a way that you can reach perfection, that you can quantify whether or not you have finished the game. Right? And so perfection is having finished everything you could possibly finish within the game. And actually what I did early in the summer before I decided to start challenging myself was I actually got into the world of modded the game to make it easier because my brain just wasn't functioning very well, and then reached perfection for the first time ever. So that's what I did there. What we're going to do is we're going to combine these two. And what's interesting about Argon Matrix's approach is that you cannot achieve any of the other goals for perfection while you are focusing on this one goal. So, for example, just to give you an idea of the types of goals that we might see, let's take a quick look here. So there are goals, for instance, on being able to ship all of the various fruits and vegetables that you want to ship, or to ship an iridium ore. Iridium is the sort of the biggest and the best in terms of ores until you get very late game. But the thing is, while trying to ship an iridium ore, I can't do any of the other things unless I've already unlocked them. So if I get ship an iridium ore as my first goal, I can't ship gold bars. I can't ship refined quartzes. I can't craft a furnace or befriend anyone, because those are all steps towards perfection. And so what this does is it severely limits what sorts of things you can be working towards. And so I am going to be playing, by the by, with the standard version. There are things I can do that you wouldn't be able to do in hardcore mode, and that Argon Matrix doesn't do in the mode that he is playing. I'm allowing myself to do that because I am not as hardcore as him. I don't complete challenges the way he does. If you want to see this challenge done in a very demanding, very punishing fashion, I do strongly recommend checking out his set of playlists and his lives that he's going through right now. So that's this in a nutshell. I'm going to be going through and playing this by combining the two approaches. So I'm going to generate a random goal, and then I'm only going to allow myself a random number and a random selection of actions in order to try to achieve that goal. And so that's where I'm going to be going. I'm going to leave this. This is going to be a standalone video just explaining things. So I'm going to leave this off here as a standalone video explaining, hey, what is it that you're doing here? And so for those of you who are with me on Twitch, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to continue streaming. just going to stop this video for YouTube. YouTubers, check out the next video that's going to come out around the same time.